My father has been working at the crematory for 8 years. He's not the kind of man who can get scary easily. A former military man, tough, silent. Over his career, he's seen it all. Children's coffins, families crying until they pass out, bodies in such a condition that it's better not to describe. He got used to it. For him, it became as much of a routine as cooking dinner for a chef. That is exactly why what happened that night scared me, truly. He returned home at 2:30 in the morning. I was still awake, sitting at my laptop when he walked in. I didn't recognize him. His hands were trembling slightly, his face paler than chalk. He walked silently in the kitchen, took out the whiskey, and that was weird. He hadn't had a drink in 3 years, and down at a glass without saying a word. My mom and I knew if my dad reaches for a bottle after work, something went terribly wrong. He didn't start talking right away. That morning, a woman came to the crematory. She had booked in advance, arranged everything over the phone, nothing unusual. But when she appeared in person, my father immediately felt that something was up. She was in a hurry. Not just nervous the way relatives usually are. She was literally pushing, demanding the cremation be done as soon as possible, asking if the process could be sped up, offering money directly to my father, bypassing the administration. She was burying her daughter, a young woman, about 25 years old. My father refused to take the money. He explained that he was just a furnace operator and didn't make the tough decision. The woman looked at him in a way he said he can still describe that look, as if he had just destroyed something incredibly important to her. She turned it around and left, slamming the door so hard the chandelier swayed. His co-worker Ray just twisted his finger at his temple. In the evening, the body was delivered. The coffin was cheap, rough, hastily nailed boards. My father had seen worse in his career, so he wasn't surprised. But when he and Ray rolled it up to furnace, they smelled it. The body was starting to decompose. According to the paperwork, the girl had died the day before, less than 24 hours. Decomposition in such a short time is impossible, unless the body was kept in improper condition, or if that had occurred much earlier than stated in the papers. But when they opened the lid and checked the face against the photo in the documents, everything matched. It was her. Spots of decay on her stomach and legs, but her face was still intact. Ray muttered something under his breath. My father said, "Not our business." They closed the lid, lowered it into the furnace. My father went out for a smoke break. Ray stayed inside, he doesn't smoke. Less than 3 minutes later, he ran outside, with a face that made my dad think he was having a heart attack. Something was screaming in there, Ray said. Inside the furnace, I heard a scream. My father thought his coworker was just overthinking, but he went to check. There's a special heat-resistant glass wheeling window through which they monitor the burning process. He looked inside. The furnace had gone out. The coffin was charred on the outside but hadn't burned, just smoldering. The temperature had dropped. The automatic system had cut off the gas. A red light was on control panel. He hadn't seen anything like this in 7 years on the job. But after they restarted the system, everything worked. They loaded the coffin again. My father stood at the window and watched. The fire engulfed the wood, it reached the body, and then, I never see it before, an arm moved. My dad say he initially convinced himself it was just a muscular reflex from the head. It happens, nothing unusual. He had seen it before. But then the furnace went out again and the face appeared in the small wheeling window. He took a long time to describe it, stumbling over his words, stopping several times. A female body, charred, blackened. The head was disproportionately large, where the eyes, nose, and mouth should have been nothing. Smooth and the burned skin. And right down the middle of the face, a vertical crack, pitch black, and something was moving inside it, worms or insects. He couldn't see it clearly. But then Ray screamed. The creature disappeared from the window. Trumping sounds began coming from the furnace. Heavy, rhythmic bluffs. Something inside wanted to get out. The walls held. The door held. Ray ran to the control panel and turned the furnace back on. And from inside came sound my father couldn't describe with words. Something between the roar of an industrial engine and hundreds of human voices screaming at once. They stood there, unable to move, but both of them just standing and listening. My mom asked, why didn't they run immediately? My dad said that half true primal fear works. Your body just shuts down. They finally ran when the wheeling glass shattered from the inside. Ray twisted his ankle jumping out the window. All the doors were locked. The case left in the machine room. My father dragged him on his back. But when he looked back one last time, the creature was standing in the broken window, watching them leave. 20 seconds later, it was gone. And when my father finished the story, he took out his phone. He had managed to take a picture, through the wheeling window before it was shattered. My mom screamed. I stared at the screen, trying to find an explanation. Photoshop, edited. My dad barely knows how to send a text message. And I had been to that crematorium. The picture showed exactly the furnace. And the terrified reflection of my dad holding his phone. It was real. I couldn't sleep for a long time that night. Towards morning, I finally drafted off. And then I woke up to the smell of smoke. The whole apartment was filled with smoke. My parents' bedroom was on fire. My mom was lying on the floor, unconscious. I pulled her into the hallway and called the firefighters. She didn't make it. My dad disappeared. His phone is unresearchable. No documents, no belongings, nothing. As if he never existed. I still don't know what exactly they were burning in that furnace. But a woman was in such a hurry. I think I understand why now. She knew what was inside her daughter's body, and she wanted to destroy it as quickly as possible. Only she didn't make it in time. I got out and I found my father. Something night. I hear heavy, shuffling footsteps in the hallway. I don't go out to check. I just lie there and wait for the dawn